Greetings and salutations. Today is January 4th, 2011, and this is the first video about my 2011 garden that actually takes place in 2011. You might be able to see through the glare of this window outside. It's just about sunset, and there's nothing new to see out there, so we're not actually going to look at the garden itself. We can look at what I'm setting up inside, which is going to go out there in the spring, probably late April or the first week of May. So, just push some of that junk mail out of the way. This is my, well, you've got some bulbs, and these are mystery bulbs. I think they might be daffodils. I know that they're not tulips, but I will plant these in my front yard. I've got some planter boxes in my front yard, and we'll find out in the springtime what these are. And then here are seeds. Jalapenos. Hot cherry. Interesting thing about these hot cherry, they look like hot cherries or pimento, which is like a small spicier bell pepper. They're actually something called a Mexi Bell, which is a hybrid pepper. So hybrids, when you plant them, don't always prove out to be similar to the parent plants. The genes don't really hold true generation after generation, so I'm not sure what these will look like. This says hot cherry here, and I'll probably label them as cherry, but God only knows what these will turn out to be. This is Goliath F2, which is, F2 is like the second generation of hybrid crossing. And this was the Bush, I think Bush Goliath hybrid tomato I bought at Home Depot. These tomatoes grew great, but again, I'm planting seeds from a hybrid, so who knows what these will turn out to be. This is going to be another fun mystery to explore in 2011. Now, here's my best friend right here. This is the Butte Jolokia. This is the hottest pepper in the world, based on Scoville's or official Scoville measurements. It was one of these peppers was the hottest ever, so this is the pepper that replaced the Red Savina Habanero as the hottest in the world. And then this I labeled as cayenne, but I don't think the pepper I took this out of was a cayenne. I think it's actually a cow horn. So I'll probably give these a symbol that represents a cow horn or a cow, and that's how I'll remember these are when I planted them. So these are all my seeds, and then I had, oh yeah, no, in the fridge, those are all the seeds that can store at room temperature. Please excuse the disgusting amount of stuff that's in my recycle bin. But here we go. Here in cold storage, or what I've been wintering so it will germinate. It needs a cooling period. You know, a lot of seeds, especially from a lot of different deciduous tree species, like rose seeds. If you ever try to plant roses from seeds, they need a cooling period. But here I've got some peach pits. And then these here, let me open this package. These are seeds I pulled out of some Asian quinces. You can see those are some Asian quince seeds, which I'm thinking about planting and maybe growing some quince bushes from seeds. So what I'm going to do right now, because I just put some hot water in these two big giant pots of potting soil right here, and this is not compost or anything fancy, I'm just using regular ordinary potting soil. I'm going to plant peach tree, and I'll plant another peach And I don't know, probability wise, maybe only one or neither of these will actually germinate. And if they do, since they're not grafted, they're grown from seed, they may not actually ever bear fruit. But this is just a fun experiment, and if these don't germinate, I can put any number of things in these big pots, and then I can just grow them as an outdoor container. And they're huge pots, they'll get massive, you know, there's room for like a massive root system for whatever gets planted in here. So, turning now, we're going down the hall. And let's see if these guys, this is the bulk, this is where I'm going to plant almost everything. And it's going to grow in here in my aquarium room for probably the first 3 months of this year. So these guys aren't quite wet yet. They need to wick up a little bit more water. So let me get all this stuff planted and I'll be back in a jiff. Thanks. Alright, I'm back. These guys have been soaking and they're all pretty moist to the touch. I used warm water just because seeds like warm water, especially pepper seeds, when they're getting ready to germinate. So I'm going to let you watch me plant my first Boot Jolokia. So I got my seeds. You can't see, they're out of frame. I'm going to take my seeds out. This first little pot, I'm going to take this old pen right here and I just make 4 holes. I'm going to plant 4 seeds just to be safe, because you never know what the probability of having successful germination is. And if you have enough seeds, just assume the germination rate is super low and plant enough that you'll at least get one to sprout. And if all 4 sprout, you just if all 4 sprout, you just kill off the ones that aren't the best. Just leave the biggest, strongest, most thriving sprout to carry on its genetics. And there we go. Alright, so that's the first one down. I'm not gonna, oh, and then I have a little label I made. So now we know that is a BJ, Boot Jolokia, BJ. So I'll plant all of these. I'm not going to expect you to sit through a 2-hour video of me planting every single little pot, but I'll plant these and then I'll come back and wrap things up. Alright, thanks. Bye. Alright, welcome back. I've planted pretty much everything now, and I've got it all labeled. Starting from the right going to the left, the first 10 here are those are all the Boot Jolokias. There's 10 of them there, and I'm excited. Important thing worth mentioning: all of these peppers, all of these seeds, I mean, none of them were produced commercially. These were all grown from seeds of fruits that I'd grown myself other years. Some of these are most of these are second generation. A few of them are third generation, and there's one that is, I don't even know. That's the habanero. I'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, Boot Jolokia, hottest pepper in the world. And then moving over here, there's 10 Boot Jolokias, and then the end of this second tray and the beginning of this next tray, we've got 6 tomatoes, and those are all the F2 of the Goliath hybrid. And again, it's going to be a mystery. I have no way how those are going to turn out. We go to the other end of this. I've got 4 of those cow horns and then 4 habaneros. Now these habaneros were, I don't know what year it was. I think it was maybe 2004, 2005. My uncle was growing chocolate habaneros and red Savina habaneros, and some of them got cross-pollinated because some of the seeds we grew out of the chocolates were insane. They were just, and it was one plant in particular grew the biggest. I mean, think about a habanero like this big, like literally like a bell pepper, but extremely hot, like a habanero. And we took seeds out of that pepper and we grew another generation, and some of those plants, they were smaller. They were really big for habaneros. They were bigger than a chocolate habanero, but they all either had blood red pods or yellow pods, and they had like that thick, fat tobacco style leaf like the chocolate habaneros have. And this is one of those plants, one of those yellow plants, and one of those red plants is still alive. My uncle brings it in and winters it every year and then puts it outside in the garden every summer. So these 4 yellow habaneros will be, I guess, an F3 or an F4 of that. So that should be interesting. And I planted these seeds from this one particular yellow plant just because I want to grow the yellow peppers, but I can never get that yellow phenotype. I always end up with a red fruit that's pretty much just like a red Savina habanero, although the plant does look more like a chocolate habanero plant, even still. Then the cow horns, those came from my coworker's garden. Peppers my coworker brought to work. That's where I got those seeds. And then the very end here, I ran out of little flag labels. But the middle row of 4 are the cherry peppers, or what I'm calling the cherry peppers. It's a F2 of the Mexibel hybrid pepper. And then the 3 on each end, 6 altogether, are just regular jalapenos. And the reason I'm growing more jalapenos just because everyone likes them and my girlfriend likes them, and that's probably what I'll bring up to her place. But the you know, I'm giving those cherries an advantage in the middle with the light, just because jalapenos, in my experience, every strain of jalapeno I've grown, they germinate extremely easily, and they grow, you know, real heartily. So, and then this F2 hybrid, I have no idea what it's going to do. So I'm just going to try to give it every advantage possible. So that's it. January 4th, 2011. Hopefully we'll be back in a week or two, couple weeks, 3 weeks maybe, I don't know. And we'll see. Hopefully by then we'll have some little sprouts we can look at. And then I'll keep you posted throughout the winter and then the spring. All these guys will go outside and find places in my garden or up in Pennsylvania at my girlfriend's garden, and then you know, we'll see how things progress through the summer, and then eventually it'll all die and maybe I'll do a 2012 garden. But here we are, January 2011. This is the birth of a new garden. Alright, thank you very much. Bye.